Shalom, shalom, everybody. This is Prophets of Awakening. We're on our Friday night Q&A class for the Shabbat, the beginning of the Shabbat, May 1st. So what we're going to do is have a moment of silence, and then we're going to go into to prayer, and then we're going to start our Q&A. Oh, Lord, we come before Thee at this time. Lord, we have set this time apart at the beginning of the Sabbath day that You have given unto us for rest. We are thankful for the knowledge and the understanding that You have given us up until this point. We seek Thy face on this Sabbath, that You shower us with peace, enlightenment, and a sense of togetherness. Oh, Lord, we see Thine hand in the affairs of the world. We know and understand that what You have spoken in the past will surely come to pass. Turn not Thy face from us, but hearken unto our plea. Hearken, O Lord, and do. All praises to You. Okay, so what were we talking about?
About how they know about our molecular makeup, right, and that's how they're using it.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it before, but it's always good to we have a refresher. But what happened is, like I was saying before, it's a system that was in the very beginning. It says the Most High created a man and a woman, and He formed the man from dust of the ground. We know that was over in Africa, which is Garden Eden, which is Eden. Then He planted a garden eastward of Eden. That's northeast Africa. So we know how the soil look over there. It's real dark and rich. And so that's where He got the clay that He formed the man from. So that when you understand that who the earth is, the earth, everybody wants to fumble with the fact of who the woman is when you pertain to the scriptures, and the earth is the woman. And so He took the clay from the earth, which is from the woman, and formed it. Then He breathed into the clay, and that man became a living soul. So melanin is in the earth. The reason the clay looked the way it do is because it's got melanin in it, and that melanin is in us. And so it's a system within people of color that's not in other people, not in people that's of a lighter hue like the Caucasians and the Chinese and people that because and that melanin it protects you from the sun, and that sun is the reason why the Egyptians worship the sun, because the sun it's the catalyst for all life. Between the sun and the water, it's the catalyst for all life. So when they looked up how the sun come up in the morning and how everything react to it and all that, they thought it was God. They didn't have the understanding that our forefathers had, Adam and Seth and all them. They didn't have the understanding of what it was. So that melanin is generated in our brain, which is a pineal gland. It's in the brain. They call it the third eye. It secretes that melanin, and it's a function all in itself. And to not have that, not have melanin and not have your pineal gland functioning right, you subhuman, because the melanin is the source of intelligence, intellect, and all that. That's where it comes from. And so, when the baby born, when a baby is conceived in the fallopian tube after intercourse, that melanin is around that fetus. And that's what causes everything to form correctly, because it's encased in that melanin. And the toes, the 10 toes come, the knees, the eyes, everything come like it's supposed to perfectly. And so when we know what He done to Cain, He took the melanin out. So before we started intermingling with them, and even now, that's what they have. They have defective kids, that they have a negative birth rate. And it's because of, nobody not addressing it, but it's because of the melanin, the lack of melanin. And attacking pineal gland ain't not working. It's calcified. And when you understand it, that's what he done to Cain, because that's a gift that he gave to mankind. And when Cain killed Abel, he took that from Cain. And an example of that is what he did with Miriam. He took it out of Miriam, and then when he took it out of Miriam, he gave 7 days outside the camp, and then he returned it back to us. So let's look at that right quick. And, I think Numbers, because you got to understand that, because of cursed, that's what the curse means. When he curses a person, he takes what he originally put in them, which is the source of life. You take it out. You take it from them. And that's how you end up being cursed. You turn white. You lack hue. You lack color in your skin. So, anyway, so I'm in number 12. I'm going to start at verse 1 when everybody get it. Numbers chapter 12.
Got it.
Okay, so this is the story when Miriam and Aaron, which is Moses' brother and sister, was talking against Moses because Moses would leave the camp and go out go out away from everybody and talk to God, and they saying we don't know where you're going, we don't know who you're talking to, you leaving, and you ain't we don't know if you're going to talk to somebody or you concocting this. For all we know, you can be going to talk to the Pharaoh. So anyway, I'm in chapter 12, verse 1. Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, have the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Have he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses, and unto Aaron, and unto Miriam, come out ye three unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. The Lord came down in the pillar of a cloud, stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and I will speak to him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all my house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore, then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed. So he came down in a thick cloud, and it's cloud. It's cloud everywhere. They can't see him. So now he's angry. So he go back up. When he go up, the cloud and all of the smoke and all that go up with him. So 10 says, and the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, so when the cloud parted, everybody could see again. And behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. That's because he took the melanin out of her, and then got so white. So this is your definition of what to be cursed is. So 11 says, and Aaron said unto Moses, Atlas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not this sin. So to be white and have pale skin and be white is a sin. He says, lay not this sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly and wherein we have sinned. So let's look at that. So if you in Africa or you in Ethiopia or Bahamas somewhere, and you walking in the marketplace somewhere, and you see a white person, our forefathers, this is what they did. So they see a white person. Look what Moses said. And Aaron said unto Moses, Atlas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, So when you see that person back then, they knew something happened to them. Something that, they'd done something. When you see a person with no melanin in them. This they concept when they saw that. So that's the whole purpose of the New Testament. They took that understanding away. So they gave us a white Christ. See, so like I said, when he resurrected our forefathers, they ain't going for that because as soon as they see him, they already know there's something wrong with him. There's something he done. He did something to the Most High, and the reason he looked like that. So he can't be no son of God. But anyway, so that's the case. That's what we done lost. And we still kind of factor in and figure them in and incorporate them into the Most High, the scheme of things, when right here we see they don't fit in the scheme of things. And then he says, 11 says, and Aaron said, so as soon as he saw Miriam, and Aaron said unto Moses, Atlas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not this sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. Let her not be as one dead, see that, of whom the flesh is had consumed, when he cometh out of the mother's womb. And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, heal her. So she's sick. Heal her now, O God, I beseech thee. And the Lord said unto Moses, if her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out of the camp for 7 days, and after that, let her be received again. And Miriam was shut out of the camp 7 days, and the people journeyed not till Miriam was brought in again. And afterwards, the people removed from Hazeroth and pitched in the wilderness of Panorama. So he came back after 7 days, and he returned the skin back. He put the melanin back in her body. And then they moved on. So if you look at verse 9, it says the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed, right? So we see right here in verse 10, when the cloud went up, when he saw that what he had done at Miriam. So with that understanding, because that's a hell of an understanding, so now I go back to Genesis. Remember, when he came to them, he came in a thick cloud. Then when he departed, Miriam, they found out that Miriam was white. She had been turned leprous, white. So, and we'll go right here to 14, chapter 3, Genesis 3 and 14. You there? Let me know when you get it. So it was Miriam, Moses, and Aaron standing there, and he was talking to them. When he got angry, when he got angry, he turned Miriam leprous, and then he went up, and then everybody saw she was leprous. Well, we right here, and we know they done something foul right here. It's the serpent, Eve, and Adam standing there. I'm in verse 9. And the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? Same situation. And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree wherein I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? See, you can see the tone that he getting ticked off. When he got angry with Aaron and Moses and Miriam, he turned her white. He getting heated right here. 12. And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree and did eat. And the Lord God said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? We know what she done. So the serpent did, cohabitated. And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me and I did eat. Now he talking. Now he at the woman. And now he going to the serpent. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed. So he did the same thing to the serpent right here that he done to Miriam. He turned him white. Okay, now let's turn the page. So he turned folks white wholesale. That's what people are understanding what this word means. Now I'm in chapter 4. We're dealing with Cain. I'm picking up in verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass. You got it? 4 and 8.
Yes.
And Cain talked with to Abel, his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him. So we see he did something wicked as hell. 9. And the Lord God, now standing there talking to Cain. And the Lord God said unto Cain, where is Abel, thy brother? We know he get heated. And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? So we know he heated up now. Now 10. And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother blood cried unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed. See, so we know what he done based on what he did with Mary. So he cursed Cain right here. He cursed the serpent, turned him white. Like I said, when you understand that, go look at Dracula. Go look at Grand Stoke Dracula, the movie. That's what it is. So you got a angel angel there with, you know, they describe the angels in Ezekiel when he said burnished brass. So when he cursed the serpent, then what he got? He got dried up wings. He's been turned white. So the guy that was tracking Dracula, he was tracking him, and then he knew that he comes into a place, he gonna bite a woman, and then he gonna keep on coming back there at night feeding off of that blood. But he operated in because everybody else like hip to that. But this guy had been doing his research, so all he did was post it up right by where the woman was. And then he busted in the room and caught him in there. And when he caught him, they showed him how he looked. He was about 10 feet tall, white, not a regular white, a pale white. And then he had wings. And they was dried up on his back. That's what he did to the serpent, right? When he cursed the serpent. He couldn't have sinned. So now we in 4 and 10. And he tell Cain, and he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cries unto me from the ground. We know he ticked. Now art thou cursed from the earth, which I remember where he got the clay from for Adam. The clay, the woman is the earth, and the earth, and it's melanin in the earth. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which have opened her mouth to receive thy brother's her. See, which has the earth, which has opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. That's because it's where he came from. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto to thee her strength. That's the melanin. He don't have none. He ain't working with it. The other man, Adam, is a tiller of the ground. He got melanin in him, there's melanin in the earth, so it's going to yield. He's working. You know, one helping the other one. So he don't have that. So earth ain't giving him nothing. 12, and when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto her strength, the melanin. A fugitive and a vagabond shall I be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I. Now we see why he's saying this. Because he behold, he is leprous. So it says, and Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth. Took the melanin from him. And from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me, like I said. That's how our forefathers thought. When they saw one of them, when they saw he ain't had no melanin in them, they already know what was up with him. It ain't like we've been brainwashed now. So he says, like I said with the next. So he says, 15, and the Lord said unto him, therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken upon him sevenfold. Now here we go. And the Lord God set a mark upon him. See, that's a trick of Esau. But the way I just explained it to you, we know what he done. And the Lord God set a mark upon Cain, lest you find him, you should kill him. So what the mark is, what he did to Miriam. Except Miriam was set outside the camp for 7 days. And then after 6 days, and then the 7 days rested, then he put the melanin back in her. But Cain, it was left in him. A permanent leper. So that's how we see what's going on with that. So, did I answer your question? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
We're
here.
Yeah, that answer your question?
Yes, it did. I followed you.
So I wanted to go further into that because so what happened was we know that the Africans, the Egyptians the Egyptians are descendants from the giants. You have to understand that. It says that our fathers oftentimes went down into Egypt and the Egyptian oppressed them. The giants are oppressive. So they giants. These Egyptians are from a result from the fallen angels sleeping with women. And Egyptians is among the Africans, but they are different. So they was oppressing them. So these Egyptians was doing all kind of dealing with the DNA, going all into the body and tapping with the body because it was not their creation. The Most High created the body. So they tapping with it, messing with it, and finagling with it. Okay, so after during the Vietnam War, which was just like we're looking at now with the coronavirus, it was a ploy, just like the Tuskegee project when it was the syphilis. They was dealing with us, tapping with our bodies, trying to find out what make us tick. So they was bringing all these black men back from Vietnam. And they was doing these autopsies on them. And when they did the autopsies, they cut their brain open, and the pineal gland was standing up. The pineal gland is fluorescent. When they cut, they dead. But when they cut them open and looked in their brain, the pineal gland was still working. That's what from that point on. That's where we caught all the hell, because all the drugs and everything they're doing now with this COVID-1, all these medical pills they coming up with is all tied to what they found out about that pineal gland. We was doomed once that happened. And all the recreational drugs they got, the reason why black folks looking crazy on the side of the corner, because the drug is a designer drug, but it's tied to the melanin. So so what happens is a person, a white, a Caucasian, or a Chinese, somebody with no melanin in them, they can take something like acid, and it just they're gonna trip out, they're gonna go on a high and trip out, but it's gonna go right out, it's gonna go right through their system. It's gonna do what it's gonna do, go in the blood, then it's gonna come back out the body through defecation or urine. But we have melanin. So when stuff like that come into our body, it latch on to the melanin and stay there. And that's why we walk around looking crazy, because it ain't affecting them like it affecting us because of the melanin. The melanin gonna grab it and hold it. And that's so everything they've been making, all these recreational drugs like crack is comes straight from them. They research with melanin and with their pineal gland. And they even now these satanic people and the elite, they eating the pineal gland. That's why these kids. That's why they trying to the partial birth abortion and all that. They want the body to be completely formed with the pineal gland in it, because a little bit of baby, the pineal gland working like a champ. So they soon as the baby is fully developed, and they pop his head, kill him, and pull him out of the body. And they eat the pineal gland. That's what all this about. And that's the reason why we, like I said, the reason we being wiped out, because they cracked the mold on that. So let's look at that then, anyway, right quick, because I'm gonna go all in on this. These some I don't get to talk about stuff like this too much, but so I was in Numbers chapter 12. So he says right here, this is another one of those things. Like I said, when you see a white, our forefathers, when they saw a white person, they already knew something was wrong. These stories go back when they first encountered them, the Africans first encountered them, they fell on the ground and started crying and throwing dirt on their head. Because they said that this man, somebody pulled the skin off of him when they saw him. They felt sorry for him. So anyway,
it says, I'm in chapter 12, verse 1 says that Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, have the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Have he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it, right? Say, now the man Moses was very meek above all men which were upon the face of the earth. And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses and unto Aaron and unto Miriam, come out ye three out of the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. And now here we go. And the Lord came down in a pillar of a cloud, stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came out. Now here we go. 6. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet, notice that, if there be a prophet, okay, among you, the Lord will make himself known unto him in a vision, and he will speak to him in a dream. How you do that? Through the pineal gland, through the melanin. So these folks ain't got that. So right there, like I said, when they start talking, you see them stand up behind the pulpit, you need to run the other way. Because they ain't nothing spiritual about it. This is spiritual right here. He says, I would make myself known unto him in a vision and in a dream. So how did he make himself known to Amalek when Amalek had stole Sarah? He came to Amalek in a dream. How did he make himself known to Cyrus? He came to Cyrus in a dream. So you got to go back and look what Cain said. You've driven me out this day from the earth because he took the melanin out of him. He's not dealing with the Most High, no kind of way. He can't deal with him because he even took the source of him communicating with him away from him. He took the melanin out, and the melanin comes from the pineal gland. So just that understanding alone right there, it limits a whole lot of folks from dealing with the Most High. So he says, all the prophets, we know all the prophets and how he said he dealt with them through dreams and visions. It's only one way that can happen. That's through the pineal gland. It's a portal. When he made Adam, he put that there. Okay. Any questions? Yeah, so that's what this is. Like I said, they put that, the guy said that they had the nanobots. The nanobots, they got it put in the water. It's all tied to DNA. It's tied to all the research they've been doing on us way back to when the Egyptians was tampering with our bodies and doing all these tests and everything on us all the way up to this day. So it shouldn't be no surprise that the coronavirus is attacking black folks because it's engineered to attack black folks. It's melanated oriented. Anybody else got any question or comment?
Yeah, I got a question.
What you got?
So what's the significance of Genesis 50 and 24 to 26 where Joseph asked Jacob and them to, when he dies, to take his bones back with them when the Lord comes to deliver them out of Egypt?
Well, it's tied to the promise that he had gave all of them. Even we read the other day in the book of Jubilees, Joshua, that he said that Abraham told him to bury him in the cave where he had bought from the children of Heth, because they know that they was going to be resurrected. And so that's what Joseph said, and they was going to be resurrected. Like I was saying before, what a lot of people don't understand, the land of Canaan Mount Zion, Jerusalem, the portal at Bethel, all in the same place, the same location. That land. It was Michael's land from Jump Street. When you understand who he is, that was allotted to him, which is the center of the earth. That was allotted to him. So they knew that, bring me back there. Joseph telling them, bring me back there. Where my strong water L is at, where my L is at, and bury me there in that ground. That's where my forefather Adam was taken from, our first man. Take us back to there. He's gonna come and he's gonna resurrect us. All of them knew that. So you say, what you talking about? Just to give you an example. Daniel. Daniel chapter 12. Daniel chapter 12. Now, based on what I just said, the land of Canaan, Garden of Eden, all at the same place. So all he doing was Adam was driven out of there from what happened with him and Eve and the serpent. He was driven out of there, but they was brought back there when Michael came there, because we knowing that he was there in the garden, and then he drove Adam out. So then later on, thousands of years later, Adam's descendants ended up in Egypt. He went to Egypt, brought them back there, land of milk and honey, same place. So now I'm in chapter 12. This example, and Daniel at the end of his life, and I'm in verse 12 and 8. It said, and I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. Many shall be purified, made white, and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. Right? We know why they don't understand, like I just said about the melanin, but the wise shall understand. The wise got the melanin, got the pineal gland. 11. And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abominations that make a desert set up, there shall be 1,290 days. Blessed is he that waiteth, and cometh to 1,305 and 30 days. He go to answer. 13. But go thy way, right, till the end be. For thou shalt sleep. You're going to die. You're going to rest and stand in thy lot in the end of days. Well, where's Lot at? In the land of Canaan, in the land of milk and honey, where the garden at. He's going to stand up in his lot. That's where he was buried at, in his lot. Same area, same ground where Adam was formed at. Did that answer the question?
Yeah, so basically what you're saying is our forefathers understood that even when they died, the prophecy or the understanding was when everything's all said and done, he's going to bring them all back, and everybody's going to be, the inheritance is the land. And so bring them back so that they can live forever with everybody else in their land.
Right. So he says that he promised them, just like he promised David, when you understand that David is the Messiah, but he promised them that they was going to judge the angels and that they was going to judge the earth. Well, that's what the people that he raised up in Ezekiel 37. When you go to Joel chapter 2, that's what they're doing. That's what they promised. It wasn't no scenario. They had nothing to do with no sun coming. If they lived a righteous life, and like David said, and didn't turn to the left and didn't turn to the right, and kept the Most High law, statutes, and judgments, they knew that they was going to participate in the Most High's judgment at the end of time. That He's going to resurrect them. So let's look at it right quick, because it says, I'm still in Daniel chapter 12, and it says, and it's talking when you got the proper understanding, it's alluding to Ezekiel 37. Verse 12, chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up. It's only fitting and proper that he is Michael, the great prince, who standeth for the children of our people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. That's the promise right there. And many of them that sleep, see that, the dead, like he told Daniel, many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake. But look what he say. Some the everlasting life, that's the ones that did like David did. Didn't turn to the left and didn't turn to the right. They got it right and figured out to keep the Most High law, statutes, and his judgment. And some the shame and everlasting contempt. So they're gonna be all resurrected, but some to shame and everlasting contempt. But the ones that the promise was that they was going to participate in his judgment at the end of time. And so, like I said, he said that they were going to be like the angels. Well, let's look at it. Chapter Ezekiel 37. Joel chapter 2. He says that Malachi chapter 4 says the day of the Lord is going to be like a oven. So, Joel chapter 2. Let me know when you get it.
I got it.
Verse 1, it says, blow ye a trumpet in Zion, sound the alarm in my holy mountain. Let all inhabit. He said, sound the alarm in my holy mountain. That's Michael talking. That's his holy mountain. That's the land of milk and honey. That's the Garden of Eden. That's the same location. He says, in my holy mountain, let all inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh. For it is nigh at hand, day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and strong that has not been ever the like, because ain't no man been resurrected like the angels. That's why there's nobody like these people. They have not been ever alike, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoured before them. That's because they like the angels. It's an angel that lit on the bush, and the bush wasn't consumed. So now they like them. A fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth, and the land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. So they're doing the judgment. Go to one more place. Zechariah. Zechariah 12. Yeah, hold on 1 minute. Okay. Zechariah chapter 12. It says, you got Zechariah 12?
Yeah.
Verse 4 says, in that day, said the Lord, I will smite every horse with astonishment, and his rider with madness. I will open my eyes upon the house of Judah, and I will smite every horse of the people with blindness, and the governors, the kings of Judah, shall say in their heart, the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall be my strength, and the Lord of hosts their God. So these kings, they all lived and died, but we see they back alive right here in Zechariah. So Esau, this is another one of Esau's tricks by saying governors, but these are kings of Judah. That's in 1st and 2nd Chronicles and 1st and 2nd Kings. They dead. They've been dead a long time ago, but right here they back alive. 6. In that day will I make the governors, the kings of Judah, like a heap of fire. See that? They've been resurrected, as Ezekiel 37, among the wood, and like a torch of fire in the sheath, and they shall devour judgment all the people round about, on the right hand and on the left, and Jerusalem shall be inhabited again in her own place, even unto Jerusalem. So what they're doing is freeing Jerusalem up. This is who's going to do it. 7, the Lord also shall save the tents of Judah. So you say, well, what I'm talking about? The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David is all the kings in 1st and 2nd Kings. And the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them that them at that day shall be as David. So the people that's alive are going to be like David. And the house of David, all the kings, the governors up in verse 4, the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before them. And we know the angels is like fire. So that's the understanding when you rightly divide it.
Okay, so over in Daniel 12 just now, you have mentioned, you read where it says that some are going to rise to shame.
12 and 4?
Let's see here.
Daniel 12 and 4.
Daniel 12 and 2. It says that many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. What's your understanding when it says shame and everlasting contempt?
The ones that didn't keep his laws, didn't keep his steps. The ones like when he says that, like Zedekiah. When at Zedekiah, Jeremiah sent the Most High, like we just saw, he deals with the prophets through dreams and visions. He gave Jeremiah commandments to give to Zedekiah the king. He threw it on the fire and burned it up on the heat, on the fire. So he told him, Nebuchadnezzar gonna come here and he's gonna take you to Jerusalem and put your eyes out. So did he die in righteousness or did he die in shame and contempt?
Shame.
Right. So the way he went down, the way he's gonna get raised up.
So now, okay, so Christianity have the doctrine of of heaven and hell, right?
Right.
And we understand that the earth is what was promised to us. So those people who are resurrected to shame and contempt, are they going to be put in hell, or what's your understanding of that?
Well, they're going. That's we at the very end, and we know that the Most High in Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 26 and 27 tell you that he's a consuming fire. There ain't no flesh on him, and the lake fire is the same way. So he burns it up. He burned up. When a man died, now his spirit ain't dead. It's a place where it go. But at the end, you're gonna burn that up. There ain't gonna be no more existence of that person or that giant. Just like we know the evil spirits that torment us today it came from the giant, from the body of the giant. So he's still around. At the very end, when the Most High is done with all this, everything that made a full circle, he's gonna burn that up. Ain't gonna be no more a resemblance of that person, the giant, whoever it is. The spirit gonna get burned up. So if you resurrected and shame and contempt, you already know what's gonna happen. You're gonna get burnt the hell up.
Kenwin Castleberry.
Okay, what's up with you?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Yeah. Was that you trying to call me?
Yeah. I was just I got the number that was in my phone already. I didn't mean to interrupt you, man. I just wanted to sit back for a second.
It's all good.
I just want to sit back and say I know you're probably in the middle of something, man.
No, we do Q&A on Friday night at 8:00. So we just, any question anybody have or that they don't understand or they want to pose, then we just deal with it like that. So we were dealing with what Kevin had a question. Kevin was bringing up a point. You finished with that, Kevin?
Yeah, you answered it. So I'll yield.
So anybody else have any a question or anything?
I do. When you was reading out of Enoch chapter 71,
okay,
and you were talking about They was talking about the angels, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and I guess I'm saying this right, Peniel.
Yeah.
Can you expound a little bit more on that one?
Oh, the 7 or the 4?
The 4.
Okay, well, the 4 is, if you go to Ezekiel, where I just talked about, Ezekiel chapter 1.
And mainly on Peniel, because I just don't remember that coming up as one of the angels, so expound on him a little bit more.
Okay, so
and you said Ezekiel, what?
Ezekiel chapter 1.
Okay.
So I start reading at verse. I start reading verse 1. It says, "Now it came to pass in the 13th year, in the 4th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I was among the captives by the river Chabar, that the heavens opened up, and I saw visions of God. And in the 5th day of the month, which was the 5th year of King Jehoiakim's captivity, the word of the Lord came especially unto Ezekiel the priest, the son of Buzi, in the land of the Chaldeans by the river Chabar, and the hand of the Lord was upon him. And he looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and fire enfolding himself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof are the color of amber, and out of the midst of it fire. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures." That's the 4 angels you just talked about. That's who that's who chose the Most High throne. It's Gabriel, Raphael, Peniel, and Uriel. So like I had explained, if you go to and you have to deal with it. Like I said, first of all, they elves. So you can't say Elohim. You can't call Yahweh Elohim, because he ain't no El. So I'm in Genesis 18. You got it?
Yes.
So I'm starting at verse 1. "And the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day, and he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door and bowed himself toward the ground." Right. So it's how many told the Most High throne?
4.
4, but it's only 3 right here. So when you understand the story, they on their way to go and destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, but in the process of time, he multitasking. So on his way there, he goes by to deal with Abraham, to let Abraham know that because Abraham been praying about a son, because he understands he ain't complete unless he have a son that come forth from his loins. So he's been praying about that. So he on his way to let Abraham and Sarah know, well, especially Abraham, that you're gonna have a son. And this time next year you're gonna have a son, and he told him what the name is, because he is the one that's looking on the book that's in heaven. That's how they can prophesy. They come down and tell the prophet what he read on the book that's in heaven. And he said, this time next year you're gonna have a son. Call his name Isaac, because he already preordained. He said, call his name Isaac. So in the process of that, he does that. Now he's on his way to Sodom. On the mission that he came for was to destroy Sodom because of the wickedness. So I'm in let me get it. I'm in chapter 19, verse 24. So they get to Sodom. There's 3 of them, right? I'm in 19:24. Well, let me go to I'm gonna start at 15, 19 and 15.
Okay.
You got it? It says, and when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. And while he lingered, the
the men laid hold of his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, the Lord being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth and set him without the city. And it came to pass, when they brought them forth abroad, that he said, escape thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plains, escape to the mountains, lest thou be consumed. And Lot said unto them, Oh, not so, my Lord. Behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast showed unto me in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountains, lest some evil take me and I die. Behold, now the city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one, and my soul shall live? And he said unto him, See, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow the city for which thou hast spoken. And has thee escaped thither from? For I cannot do anything till thou come hither. Therefore the name of the city was called Zoar. The sun was rising upon the earth between when Lot enters Zoar. So here we go, 24. And the Lord rained down upon Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. So let me read that again. The Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstones and fire from the Lord out of heaven.
So Michael and his 2 angels on the earth, right? They just went and talked to Abraham, right?
Yes. Right.
Okay. Well, when, like I said, that's why you have to understand their names. So Uriel, go back and look at what his role is. He's over the luminaries. So Uriel not with them because he's the one that's raining down upon Sodom and Gomorrah. That's why it's only 3. Uriel, the one that's raining down he's the one that's. Oh, so let's go back and look at when a person break the Sabbath. What happened to him? What you supposed to do to him?
Die.
Stone him to death. Stone him to death. Stone him to death. So we got Sodom and Gomorrah, 2 harlots. So what is they doing? He's stoning them. He's sending down stone, fire, and brimstone from heaven to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's Uriel's job. That's why he's not with them when they came. It's not 4 of them. So when they got there, then Uriel did his job. Now let's go to another one. Go to let that firmate. So go to Genesis chapter 20. Let me see. Jacob 32 and 24 when Jacob wrestled with the angel.
Genesis 32
and 24, yeah. Just to answer your question about female. You there?
Yes.
And Jacob was left alone, 32 and 24. Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, What is thy name? So go back to when Samuel was born and when Samson was born. And they asked him, they want to know their name because the name tell him what's up with them. So he says, but Esau don't want you to know this. So he said unto him, What is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and hast prevailed. And Jacob asked him, Jacob turned around and asked him, and said, Tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, Wherefore is it that thou doest ask me after my name? And he blessed him there. And now look at this. So Jacob did tell him his name. So 30. And Jacob called the name of the place what? So they fumbling with the word though, but that's PHELI. They fumbling with it. You see what I'm saying? He told him his name because that's where he met him. He met him there, so he named the place there. Huh? But they fumbling with it though, and so that's why they didn't throw it off the order of these angels and all that. But when you go to the Book of Enoch and with the right and right the fire with the Spirit of the Most High, you see what's going on.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Anybody else got a question? Anybody else got a question? Okay, well, what?
Yeah, I'm just sitting back listening, brother. I'm trying to check and, listening to everything, man. I ain't got no questions, man.
Okay. Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play this 7-minute clip about it's a 7-minute clip from Lindsey Graham want to I don't know if anybody saw it. You saw the video where Lindsey Graham trying to get the Democrats to go along with the Republicans to put sanctions on China. Did anybody see that?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Well, you can go look at it. The name of it is Senator Graham has an urgent message for the Dems regarding China. I'm going to play it.
Okay.
The whole situation. Because we believe it could have been stopped at the source, it could have been stopped quickly, and it wouldn't have spread all over the world, and we think that should have happened. So we'll let you know at the appropriate time, but we are doing serious investigations.
President Trump just moments ago with health officials in China say that the last COVID-19 patients in Wuhan have now been released from the hospital. A major milestone for the city where the pandemic first began. But the government announcement comes as Fox News reports that China may have had up to 50 times more cases than they have admitted or reported officially. Trump administration official telling Fox News, quote, "We don't know the real numbers today, but we do know that the about 80,000 infection and 4,000 death numbers reported by the Chinese Communist Party propaganda are not even remotely close." Here now, Senator Lindsey Graham, chairman of the Judiciary Committee. Senator Graham, good to have you here tonight. Obviously, it's very difficult to believe what's coming out of China in terms of these numbers. I'm just going to pop up the population numbers for everybody at home so they can get a look at this. China's population, 1.4 billion. They say that they lost 4,600 people. The United States has 328 million, and we have been fully transparent about the fact that we've lost nearly 56,000 right now. Just take a look at Wuhan versus New York. Wuhan has 11 million people, 3,800 deaths. New York City, 8.4 million, 17.5 million deaths. What's going on here?
Oh, that's Chinese Communist Party BS. That's what's going on here. Here's what we do know. 26 million Americans without work are out of work because of this virus. Almost 56,000 Americans are dead because of this virus. It came from China. I'm not saying they intentionally did this. A combination of gross negligence plus willful deception by the Chinese government led to this. And here's my plea to my Democratic colleagues. Please don't give China a pass for this pandemic. Work with me to compel China to do 3 things that need to be done. Number 1, fully cooperate with any investigation regarding how the virus originated, U.S. and international community. Number 2, close all the wet markets that serve exotic wildlife like bats and monkeys where a lot of this comes from. And 3, release all the Hong Kong democracy advocates that have been jailed since the virus started.
This sounds like, if you're listening to it, this sounds like the same thing they did with Saddam Hussein, ain't it? Same thing.
Yeah.
So
accusing them.
Yeah. But this Esau at his finest, and it means that it goes right in line with the scriptures when the Most High said that the 4th beast is diverse from all the rest of them. This is what he's talking about, Esau. Esau, he like I said, they when you say rabbi, it's though that word lawyer, rabbi, scribe all go hand in hand. So he's using all the knowledge he didn't gather from all the different places he's been, because he's a world traveler, and he got our scriptures. He got our scriptures out, the real scriptures. He got all that, and so he said he can manipulate the scene at a whim, and that's why the Most High said that one going to be stronger than the other one. He wasn't talking about Jacob was going to be stronger than Esau. Esau was stronger than Jacob, and it's going to take the Most High to come back to deliver Jacob out of his hands. Okay, let's start back.
I put sanctions on China till they do those three things, and I need Democrats. Democrats have been very silent when it comes to China. Please do not give China a pass.
All right. So, I mean, we've heard a number of proposals coming out of Congress to crack down on China. Are there teeth in this? Tell me about the sanctions. So if they don't do those three things, or even one of those three things, what's going to happen to them?
That's a great question. One, we're going to seize assets of Chinese officials that are responsible for not reporting the pandemic. We're going to cut China off from U.S. financial institutions. We're going to shut down visa travel into the United States for Chinese students. We're going to close off America to China, the Chinese economy, and we're going to make it hard for them to do business in the United States until they fully cooperate, close the wet markets, and release the Hong Kong democracy advocates. There's real teeth in this bill, but the only way it will really have teeth if it's just bipartisan. So to the Democratic Party, join me and President Trump and all Republicans to send a signal to China: business as usual is over until you change your behavior.
It's interesting. The polls that we've seen show that the American people are really waking up to this issue, and that they don't want us to be dependent on China anymore. And I find that fascinating. It, sort of reminds me of the Made in the USA movement that was around in the late 70s, early 80s. And, I actually have a little clip from one of those jingles that I'm going to play. Go ahead, let's play that. Do you remember those? That's the union workers, private union workers. And, I think that, I think that if you had a real Make It in the USA movement in this country at this moment, I think you could get a lot of momentum behind that. Why don't we see that yet?
It's called the Trump campaign. How did Trump get to be president? He said, I'm going to stand up to China cheating. I'm going to stand up to China stealing their jobs, stealing their intellectual property, ripping us off, manipulating their currency. One of the biggest reasons that Donald Trump is president of the United States, he saw the behavior of China to be unacceptable. Every other president before him has given China a pass. He's not going to give China a pass. I hope the Democratic Party, who's talked tough in the past about China, will step up and work with me to make sure we find out what happened in China. If they don't cooperate, they lose access to the U.S. economy. Number two, shut these wet markets. This is the third pandemic to come out of wet markets. And three, release these democracy advocates in Hong Kong. As the world's been focused on the coronavirus, they've been putting everybody in jail in Hong Kong, demonstrating for democracy. So enough with China already. Trump saw this before everybody else. I'm going to give Democrats a chance to do something about it.
The president's been very tough on China when it comes to the trade deal, very tough on China in a lot of ways, but he also says, President Xi is my friend, and I'm not going to do anything really dramatic unless he reneges on this trade deal. He's definitely holding out on that trade deal as one last connection to China and their economy. You can tell from what he says.
Yeah, well, one, this guy's not our friend. A friend would not let this happen to somebody that they consider to be a friend. A friend would not sit silently by and protect his own country while the rest of the world gets infected. Now, China is somebody we have to do business with. I want a good relationship with China, but they got to earn it. So this is a chance for the Democratic and Republican parties to come together, We've come together back here at home by putting money on the table to help Americans get through the coronavirus. We need to come together when it comes to punishing China to make sure it doesn't happen again. If they get away with it this time, they'll do it again. So enough.
Okay. So it seemed like to me it's a number of a Trump campaign ad. So anybody got any comments on what they just heard?
Yeah, it sounds unrealistic. Like they just saying anything just to be talking. Because
right.
I mean, really, that's what you're gonna do to China?
Right. And then the thing about it is that, like I was saying before, when you understand who Esau is, and he's, like I said, it's a woman riding on the fourth beast. Nobody addresses that, and the woman is Esau. Is a harlot. And when we know that he stole the land from the real Israelites, and he left. Most High kicked him out in 70 AD, but he came back in 1948. And anybody that's paying attention to it can see that Netanyahu came to the Senate, and he made an appointment with the Senate when he wanted to come. He came there and talked to Obama, and, so it's obvious to see that Israel is controlling America. So the woman is the fake Edomites that's posing as Israelites. So it's not these clowns. When you see Lindsey Graham and Trump, Donald Bush, and all them and stuff they're doing, it's not them doing it. Esau and concocted it, and they puppets and doing what they tell them to do. So and like I was saying before, for 2,500 years, this is all they've been doing. If you worked at a plant, making hugger cups, you're gonna be a pro at it after a while. Well, this all been doing for 2,500 years is manipulating currencies, stealing money, and all that. He a pro at it. So he knows right here what he's doing right here with this thing about sending the bill to freeze China. He putting all the Democrats on notice. Because if they don't participate in it, then he's throwing them in the cross. The same way they did with when Trump got out of the impeachment. You impeach him over here in one house, and then all of a sudden the same things you used to impeach him over there, now they can't be used over here. Come on, that's crazy. And the same thing right here. You can't. How are you gonna disconnect the American people from China? With everything over here that we dealing with came from China. We're gonna lose before they lose. The American company almost about to it's on teetering right now. They ain't gonna. How you gonna? You can't tell them folks no more what to do because they didn't surpass you. It's crazy. But it's like I said, it's a hidden hand behind it, and they're accomplishing exactly what they want. But they want to make the people think it's some kind of, you got some kind of option. We can get out of this and all that. But no, it's what they're doing right now is a controlled demo job on America, right in front of all America's face. But people can't read the blueprint. Any comments? No comment? Okay, so where we at is, let me see. We're an hour and 15 minutes. Anybody else got any more questions? Another question? Comment or something they read and didn't understand? Now's the time.
Hey there, brother. I'm a ACN.
Right, I was saying.
Yeah, so it's been a while since we chopped it up, and
right.
I know we got tons of different views about scriptures and stuff,
right.
man. But when I heard you on the show just the other day, I wanted to chop it up because I've been getting studied since the last time that we spoke, and right now, I'm at work, so that's the, but I didn't want to miss the show, so I'm just calling in. And thinking about the last time we spoke, I was at work also. So
right.
I don't want to speak on nothing if I can't open that book up, too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just quiet right now, and I'm just listening. I don't know if that, if you remember last time we spoke, there's several people that, going back and forth with me. You know what I'm saying? So I just, I'm just listening, bro. You know what I'm saying? Man, that's all I'm saying at the moment.
Yeah. We miss you though, brother.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm no harm, no foul. I can talk with anybody. It's all good.
I can hear it in your voice. I can hear it in your voice. You seem like an upstanding type of dude. You know what I'm saying? My brother. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Louisiana. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we got I'm still a seeker, and I told you before, I got everything on the table. I ain't necessarily took nothing just off the table. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I listen, and I'm just listening, man. I'm just listening. That's But
so you got the pen. So you found the pen though? You found the pen to the line?
The pen number to the line?
Yeah, because I gave a number out on 5 Smooth Stone, but I forgot to get a pen out.
Yeah, so what I did was I still had the number in my phone. I just didn't I didn't label it. So, but when I typed in the number, that's when it popped back up.
Okay.
So that's when I still had the PIN number.
Okay.
Yeah, it was still in my phone. It just this time I went in and labeled it.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's all good.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just what that is. I just labeled it. So, but man, I'm just listening, hearing you out, man.
Yeah, it's all good.
But I can say that non-Messianic is the same thing as everybody else, man. Not all y'all agree with each other either. That's one thing I came across since the last time we talked. There's other non-Messianic, and they saying different things from each other. So I just wanted to put that in there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That we
Right. So to kind of put some clarity on that is you got a lot of people that when you start dealing with non-Masonics, a lot of people started seeing that things wasn't adding up with the New Testament, and so they started dealing with Yahweh, and they wasn't dealing with the Son, and so they didn't have the understanding about how the Most High, his order that he had set up from the beginning. So those are non-Masonic that don't understand the order of the Most High. That's how you got the difference. You have people that's non-Masonic, but they don't know about the Lord of Hosts and all the things that we talking about. They don't have that understanding. They just know that the New Testament ain't right.
It's not saying the couple I talked to wasn't saying that it wasn't right. They just think that it's plagiarized.
Right.
And anybody could take quotes from the old. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Put it up there like that. That's their perspective. But they believe that the Messiah is coming and going to be born in Bethlehem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they waiting on that to happen. You know what I'm saying? All right. So I forgot what scripture they went to, but it's the scripture prophesying the Messiah to be born in Bethlehem. But the problem I look at that is that the folks that's over there now, I mean, I'm like, Is Josiah going to be black? Is he going to be Yiddish type folk? You know, because that's who's in that land right now. I mean,
Right.
but, you know, that's just one of those type of things, man. But not all of y'all agree neither, and that's the whole point I was saying.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. But I'm just going to sit back and take all of it in. And,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And just check it out, man. I think that's a wise position.
Yeah.
How
long you been on 5 Smooth? How long you been on 5 Smooth Songs?
It's almost a year now that I kind of.
About a year? Okay.
Yeah, it's getting close to a year.
So you went on at the same time I did.
Yeah, around the same time, because I was listening to a lot of Yehuda Project.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's when I first heard you.
Right.
And then when I heard you on 5 Smooth Stones, that's when I was just like, wow, that's the same cat, man. And that's when we first linked up. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, you know, but I've been kind of in the scriptures since then, and I'm steady growing, man.
Yeah. It's all good.
But do you believe the northern and the southern tribes that they're separated?
Yeah, I do. But when you go to Second Ezra, what a lot of people don't understand in that, and it's right there in Second Ezra that when they came out of Babylon and went back to Israel, Cyrus gave a decree that all Israelites that was in his kingdom can go back. And so Cyrus conquered the Assyrians, and the 10 tribes was in Assyria. So what actually happened was, and they don't want you to know that, is that all the 10 tribes and all of them came back.
Okay. Well, I hear you, man. I don't want to, you know. I don't want to go back and forth with you today, brother.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
That's something different. I haven't heard that one.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it right quick. It's about 5 verses. I'm in Ezra. So I'm in Ezra. This Cyrus was prophesied about 500 years before he came. It says in chapter 1 of Ezra, it says, now in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, that the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah might be fulfilled, the Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia, that he made a proclamation throughout all his kingdom, and put it in writing. So Cyrus conquered the Assyrians. The 10 tribes went into captivity with Assyria, and Cyrus came and conquered all of them. So now he's king over Assyria, over Egypt, over all that whole area. And so in verse 2 says, thus said Cyrus, king of Persia, the Lord God of heaven has given me all the kingdoms. So that means the 10 tribes in some of these kingdoms of the earth. And he has charged me to build him a house in Jerusalem, which is in Judea. Who is there among you of all his people? That's all the 12 tribes. His God be with him, and let him go up to Jerusalem, which is in Judea, and build a house of the God of Israel. He is God, which is in Jerusalem. And whosoever remaineth in any place where he sojourned, let the men of his place help him with silver and with gold, goods and with beasts, and besides the freewill offering for the house of God that is in Jerusalem. So when you understand that Cyrus had something like 192 providences, and one of those providences was the Assyrian providence, where the 10 tribes is there. So when he made the proclamation, he made the proclamation to all the Israelites that they wanted to go back.
Okay. I hear your understanding on that. However, it was the Babylonian Empire was ruling before the Persian Medo empires did their thing.
Right.
So we know that the Babylonian Nebuchadnezzar, he's the one who actually conquered Assyria.
Right.
But the thing about that is was the northern tribes, was they on the chain in Assyria, or did they literally just on the outside of the land working in fields? That's important because once the battle and stuff took place, are you saying that Nebuchadnezzar went and got the slaves as they were fighting, or did the people flee for their lives? You know you said they all were captured, and for them to be captured and then the Persian Medo take over, which now they under the reign of the Persian Medo and Cyrus. So you're basically saying that the whole northern kingdom did not run for their lives. They was captured by Nebuchadnezzar, and then Cyrus took over, and so now they're under Cyrus. And now all the 12 tribes are all under together is what you're saying.
Right, but not all of them. He says the proclamation is that those who want to go back. He said those among you that want to go back can go back. So that means that people from all the 12 tribes went back. Not necessarily all of them went back, but he made a proclamation to all the 12 tribes that wanted to go back. And then the Most High, then they have a choice. Yeah, they have a choice. So then verse 5 says, and this is what's happening right now. Well, he says, what we read right here is a template on what's happening now. He says, verse 5, then rose up the chiefs of the fathers of Judah and Benjamin and the priests and the Levites and all them whose spirit God had raised to go up. So he ain't raised everybody's spirit to go back. He said the one that the spirit that God raised to go up to build a house of the Lord in Jerusalem. See that? So all of them ain't go back.
Gotcha. So they basically free if they had a choice, then, right?
Right. That was the difference in Cyrus. That was the difference in Cyrus and Nebuchadnezzar and those other people. Cyrus was different than everybody else. He allowed the people after he conquered them. He allowed them to keep ruling their kingdom. They were just subject to him. He wasn't an oppressive ruler.
Okay. So what about the southern kingdom? Was they oppressed by Cyrus?
No, Cyrus released them. It had already been prophesied about. They already knew Cyrus was coming from Isaiah 42. He had prophesied about Cyrus 500 years before he came. So when Cyrus came on the scene, they already knew because he was in Scripture. Okay. And it was the 70 years was up.
Okay, I believe there's a scripture. Let me see if I can think about it. Could it be in Ezra? That's talking about they was oppressed by the Medes or by the Persian Empire.
Right.
That they was oppressed and they was under hard bondage with the Persian Medo Empire under King Cyrus.
Where you see that is?
I'm thinking about it. It's I might have to get back with you on that one, brother.
Yeah. It's all good.
On top of my head, I can't go to that scripture on top of my head, but I believe every single one of those empires, there's documentation that there was a hardship going on in each one of those empires.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So Cyrus wasn't all that, you know what I'm saying, friendly and nice is what I'm trying to get.
Right. He wasn't. He was wicked and he was ruthless, but the Most High used him to deliver the Israelites.
Yeah.
Right.
And we'll find that him talking to the Pharaoh of Egypt, you know what I'm saying, in a dream, giving him vision. Right. And we also see him talking to Nebuchadnezzar in a dream.
Right.
And all that. And then we see him, you know what I'm saying, dealing with Cyrus.
Right. You know and Amalek, Amalek also. He made Amalek release Sarah.
So, I mean, we see, that things are kind of up in the air, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know his ways. You know, he do.
Right.
You know, the most high do what he gonna do.
Right.
But under the Roman Empire, there's reason to believe that America is designed after the Roman Empire. And
yeah, it is.
So basically what I'm saying is that there's a good reason to believe that the Northern Kingdom was within the Roman Empire also. So could be even soldiers in the Roman Empire. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
okay.
All
Right.
right. And that's just something to kind of consider when you talk about, you know, dreams and things like that taking place. But, you know, we put a drift off into something else kind of. But it's hard to think that if they was in the, you know, Northern Kingdom had a choice, they went back home. When, you know, Hosea it talks about them mixing with Gentiles and, you know, taking out, assimilating with them. So, you know, it's just, you know, it's hard to see if they going back to the land. I mean, they trying to do right. You know what I'm saying? Right. They trying to hold down, keep their culture together. But then, and that's like scriptures fighting against each other. Then, you know what I'm saying? Because if they're going to assimilate, then they're going to assimilate.
Right.
You know, they were the Gentiles at. Yeah, that's where they at. A lot of them, that's where they went. And I'm thinking it's further into Europe. They was already in Syria, so it's easy for them to go into Turkey and all of that.
Right, exactly right. But yeah, he got it. He always has a remnant though. That's one of his characteristics. He always got a remnant. I can dig that. Right, and just like when he would separate like the two baskets of seeds. The ones that were wicked, he would take them to a certain place and destroy them, but he would protect the remnant.
Okay.
We see that all through the scriptures.
Yeah. But I know you don't believe in the New Testament, so it's hard for me. I'm trying to work with you, you know. But I just really kind of just want to listen, man.
I understand.
Yeah. You know, I already we can talk. I know there's probably other folks that's on the line that maybe want to.
Yeah, right. I was getting ready. I was getting ready to close. I was gonna see if anybody else had anything else to say. Anybody else got any more questions or comments before we close out? No more comments or questions? Yeah, so we got a Saturday morning Sabbath class tomorrow in the morning at 9 o'clock. It's
okay.
So it's usually normally lasts for about a couple hours. So
okay.
With that being said, let me turn this off.